Bom dia. É um autêntico, verdadeiro prazer estar hoje aqui na Casa da Música, em Oporto. Eu quero agradecer ao Turismo de Portugal, a Nest, por esta oportunidade. And being said that, I will switch to English, if you don't mind. I'm Kim Martinez. I'm leading the Tourism Innovation Hub, which is the global initiative of MasterCard. We are live since 1 year and a half, and we are working to support tourist destinations to create or to develop tourism in a more sustainable way. We are acting as a center of knowledge and also as an ecosystem of innovation, and we are supporting tourist destinations and all the value chain with our data insights. Okay, just for your info, we have around 3 billion cardholders around the world, and we are managing millions and millions of transactions every minute, every hour. Okay, but not only data, we have our own capabilities, our teams specialized in data insights that are supporting all of our clients from the finance sector, but also from tourism and travel. We are also supporting destinations in their positioning in the market with our Priceless.com platform and digital marketing capabilities. But 1 year ago, we wanted to go a step forward, and we created this hub that I'm leading, which is looking for the best digital solutions available in the market and bring them to the destination. So I will be more than happy to meet all the startups and funders and tech parties that are here to try to see if we can collaborate and work together for a better tourism, okay? And most important, we are co-investing and co-developing new solutions with tourist destinations around the world, okay? Today, I'm going to talk about trends, the trends that we will see in the upcoming 12, 24 months, okay? Before me, future of travel have been explained, okay? But I want to focus on those trends. I have selected 15 trends that, for me, will make a difference in the next year. Every time that we talk about trends, many times we used to mix the trends, okay? We talk about technology, we talk about people, and when we make this kind of analysis in MasterCard, I love to organize a little bit the trends. It's true that all of them are related. One trends impact on others, and at the end, it's a connected ecosystem. But I like to differentiate the trends in 4 categories. The first one is people, society. I think that Joseph has done a super good presentation about how we as individuals, as a community, are behaving, are consuming in this world, are traveling, okay? But I will explain a little bit which trends are we seeing with our data and our ecosystem about the new traveler, the traveler after the pandemic, okay? The second group of trends I like to analyze is the market, how the market is changing, how the destinations, which challenge are the destinations facing. And the last one is technology, okay? We have new technologies, some ones not new, but that now are mature enough to impact the tourism industry, and I would like to share my thoughts about this. There is a 4th bubble, which is regulation, okay? But I don't want to bore you, so today we will not talk about regulation. Okay, so let's start with the first one, people, the traveler. Joseph has made an amazing explanation, so I will not go deep on that. But I'm glad that my first trend is agreed with the previous presentation. But it's true. 2024 will be the year of the experiences, and you will hear that a lot. If the previous years were sustainability, were innovation, were recovery, were whatever, I think that 2024 is the year of the experiences. And here I bring data, I bring facts, okay? Since we are monitoring the spend of the well, all citizens of the world, we are seeing that for first time ever, we are spending much more in experience than ever, okay? We compare the spends in experience compared to essential or domestic spend, okay? And it's increasing the spend in experience. What means in experience? We see the spend that people is doing in bars, restaurants, having fun, leisure, okay? And this is bigger and bigger. And for me, this has two impacts in our industry. The first one is that traveling is an experience itself, okay? So these are good news. If all of us are spending more in experience, it means that we are willing more to travel. And this is good news for our industry. And the second one, it's already been explained. It means that when we travel, we are looking for something different of what we were looking some years ago, okay? So tourist destinations, private companies, travel companies must start adapting their offering, their services, their way to go to the market to make sure they provide this experience. Or if you want to go a step forward, these transformations that has been talking before to the traveler. The second one is the autonomy, okay? You might like it or not, but all of us, we are stick to a phone, okay? And when we travel, we want to manage everything in our phone. All the information, all the travel bookings, all the experience that we want to book later, everything the traveler wants to have in his hand. And we have a big challenge, because nowadays we have thousands of mails, booking reservations, and etc. And we have to integrate all of this information and create a unique experience for the traveler. And here there is a big challenge for the destinations. Several reports, I think it was from Booking.com last year, they were saying that millennials are using around 10 apps when traveling, okay? And 70% of them are happy to use social networks to get inspired and select where are they going, okay? So it means that everything is happening in our mobile. The third one, it's quite related with the first one, value for money. Our data shows that cost of life is getting expensive in many countries and many regions. So it means that the budgets that we have for traveling are tight, okay, are more reduced. The good news is that as we want to spend more in traveling, we are compensating this lower budget, spending more in traveling than in domestic things, okay? But it's important. Budget for traveling is getting reduced. After pandemic, we solved that because at the end we saved some money and we were willing to take a plane and go away, okay? So we compensate the reduce of budget for traveling with these two trends, but let's see what happens in 2024. For this reason, we consider it super important to, as a destination, as a company, support the traveler with promotions. Loyalty programs will be more and more important every day in those destinations that make sense having a loyalty program. The fourth one, sustainability. I love this topic. Sustainability, it's in all of our agendas, in all of our strategic plans, okay? But it's true that we have a lot of things to do. Last year, with a national tourism organization, we made a research with a European traveler. We interviewed some thousand of travelers, mainly from Germany, UK, and France, which are the main inbound markets. And we have some good and bad news in terms of sustainability. Let me share 3 conclusions of the study. The first one, 56% of the travelers say that they consider themselves sustainable, okay? So quite good. When we make hidden questions about their real behavior, we realize that only 60% have sustainable behavior when traveling, okay? So the gap between what we consider and how we really behave is, I would say, quite big. When we ask why it's difficult for them being sustainable, we found 2 main, well, I would say 1 main reason, and it's information. There is a lack of information of which product is sustainable and which product is not sustainable. So it means that our challenge, our job, is to make sure that we work to be sustainable, but also provide information to the traveler to allow them to make the choice, okay? And the final question, which I think is good news, is that most of the travelers are happy to pay a little bit more for a sustainable product, okay? I think that we have to work in the future for not making sustainability more expensive, okay? Sustainability should not be more expensive, but the reality is that in some cases today, sustainability is still more expensive because it requires some kind of investments, okay? Some kind of infrastructure. So the good news is that some travelers are willing to pay up to 5, 10, 20% more for a sustainable product. Last one that has really changed is the business traveling model, okay? I think that pandemic has changed this model, the way that we are traveling, the way that companies are promoting the travels or not. There are many companies that nowadays are trying to make their travelers work less. But the good news is that we see two trends that came here for staying, okay? Which is the hybrid model of working and the digital nomads. I will not talk about digital nomads because you are a best practice, I would say, in the market, okay? But it's a reality. In 2022, it's estimated that there are 30 million of digital nomads in the world, so people who takes at least 1 month abroad working from fantastic destinations. So it's also a good opportunity for some of you. Let's go to the second bubble, the market, what we are seeing in the market. First of all, good news, China is open again, or is opening, okay? So we have a new market of visitors, good segment of visitors who used to spend a lot to travel long. So it's a good opportunity for most of the destinations. And also we are seeing new countries that are increasing their outbound travelers. The second thing, I'm sorry, but it's a reality. We have a big problem in the world, which are the geopolitical crises and conflicts. And this is hard because it has a huge impact in our industry. First of all, because those destinations that are under conflict, their travelers have some limitations to visit some of the countries. Okay? It's also an opportunity because, for example, Russians cannot travel to some countries, as far as I know, but they are traveling to new countries now. If you go to Middle East, or if you go to, for example, Thailand, this kind of destination, now you can find travelers from these kind of countries. So it's a challenge for some destinations, an opportunity for other ones. But it's true that, first of all, citizens from these destinations have some limitations, okay? Of course, if these regions were a touristic destination, I was in Tel Aviv 10 months ago, and they have super amazing plans for tourism. This is completely stopped, of course, okay? It's another impact. The third one, super important, at the end, there are also, and we have here colleagues from airports and airlines, and they will be able to confirm, but some airline routes are not able because of the conflict. So we have a problem of capacity of flights offer. And finally, most important, it affects our mind, okay? Somehow we feel it's less safety traveling to some destinations, traveling to some regions, and maybe it's safe to go to these regions because these countries are not under a conflict, but at the end, it affects our desire to travel and to take a plane in some concrete destinations, okay? The third one, again, and related with the previous one, as we are having now conflicts in the Red Sea, again, the supply chain costs are increasing again. It means increasing the cost of our hotels, of our travel agencies, our transport, our everything. So we expect that in 2024, the prices of the tourism industry will increase a lot. As said before, after pandemic, it increased, but as we were saving and we were willing to travel, we didn't care to pay 30% more for a hotel, which that happened in Portugal and Spain. We were paying 30% more than 2019. Let's see what happened this year, okay? The fourth one, sustainability commitments and regulations. It's also a trend. We have seen some of them that were announced and projects. I forget, I'm mentioning regulation commitments, but also projects to help sustainability. It's something that will impact more and more our industry. We are seeing, for example, in France, that they have limited the flights, the internal flights. Spain is talking about something similar, so that's a good example of how regulation can impact our industry, okay? And finally, this is not a new trend. This is from before the pandemics. After the pandemic, it was worse than worse because many of our workforce leave tourism industry to go to other sectors, to other companies, okay? Because at the end they have to leave. Some of these workforce come back when the sector has recovered, okay? But there is still a lack of workforce. There is still a lack of workforce that must be talented enough in terms of digitalization, because we are asking more and more things to this workforce. So it's not about working in a restaurant or working in a hotel. We want them to be in a hotel. We want them to face the client and provide them an amazing experience, and moreover work with digital tools. So here we have a lot of work to do with this community, okay? Great. The last bubble, technology. There's many. I have chosen my 5-6 topics that I believe will be relevant for this 2024. The first one, of course, generative AI. It's a fact, it's a new tool that arrived quite suddenly without knowing most of us about that. It's something that I believe came here to stay, came here to support us to change the way we work and the way we live, okay? So all of us must learn to use it and in our daily life or daily job. And there's no option, okay? There's no option. I want to mention you one thing. Nowadays, all of you, all the tourist destinations are used to work in social network, okay? You know that for promoting your destination, you have to invest, you have to have a team, and you have to play your role in social network. And the good thing is that you know how to do that, because you know that if you make a marketing campaign in this social network, you can target this kind of client. If you do another campaign to another social network, you can bring some kind of travelers. With generative AI, we have a problem. We don't know how it works. We don't know how we can impact. But the reality is that many users around the world are using generative AI for organizing a travel, for example, for preparing a 7-day trips around Portugal. And there are millions of users that start making these kind of questions to the generative AI. And the problem is, first of all, the information that's there, it's not updated until yesterday, so I think it's until 2021 or 2022, I'm not sure. And secondly, that you cannot be sure about the response that generative AI is providing to the traveler, okay? So it's time to invest, it's time to know how it works, and it's time to start using it to make sure that we build the correct bridge between the user and the companies or the destinations. We in Mastercard, we are creating the first, or testing, I would say, the first generative AI platforms, which is using only certified information from the city councils or the tourist destination, and also information from us, our data, our insights, and third parties, to make sure that at least the answer that is provided to, in this case, the SME, because we are creating this pilot for SMEs that are working in a region, that at least all the information that is provided to the end user is information which is certified and trustable for the visitor. The next one, important, digital identity. Again, European Commission is working and promoting that. I think that sooner or later, in order to cover the trend that I have said before, that we need a unique experience and managing everything with only one app or one information channel, we need at the same time digital identity, okay, that allow us to travel and making this experience much more seamless, okay? And that's a topic that in the coming 12, maybe 2 or 3 years, will make a difference, at least in Europe, okay? There is another trend related with that, and I'm not sure if I like or not, but all the destinations around the world are looking for their super app, okay? So a unique door, a unique channel for me, for having all the information and connection and communication with the destination, okay? It's super useful, but there are many actors in the market, and we have to see who must be the owner of this super app, okay? But it's also another trend. As I said, many destinations around the world are building, launching their own super app, and we will see many of those in the coming months. The third one, European data spaces. I think that being in Europe, I think that we must know about this initiative. It's quite new, and it's not working yet. It's a program that will be developed in the upcoming months, okay? It's about a new framework of sharing data between all the actors of the tourist value chain, from tourist destinations, private companies, SME, and also individuals, okay? And it's a new framework for sharing data, but also for consuming data. It's not about having a platform. It's about having a box where any one of you can take the data that they want, okay, and consume for their own purpose or their own benefits. It raised several challenges. First of all, of course, it must be, data protection must be assured. Data sovereignty must be also assured. And here, for me, the big challenge is how the SMEs will be able to play a role in this, okay? Because big corporations like us will have enough capabilities, enough teams to play a role, to share data, but also play with data from several parties and make our own tools and our own analysis. But an SME has no capabilities, no resources, so we have to support them, take part of this amazing, well, amazing or ambitious, let's say, program. Finally, I'm sorry, working at MasterCard, I would like to talk about this one, because as we have mentioned that the experience and making a seamless experience is super important, we are working super hard in making this payment experience much more interesting, much more seamless. It's about taking, and I have to say that some cities in Portugal and Porto is working pretty well on that. So now you can take public transport, if I'm not wrong, in Porto, and you just put your credit card or you just put your mobile phone and you get in without having the need of fighting with a ticket machine and buying a ticket, etc., etc. That's the first step, okay? But we want to go a little further. And we are doing some projects like the one that we have done in Netherlands. With this is integrated with intermobility, okay? So it's not only about taking the subway or the bus, it's I take first the subway, then I take the bus, then I take, why not a bicycle, or why not I charge my car, my electric car in a charging station, and the systems detect my credit card and make a unique payment, okay, and a program that calculates the best fee for me, okay? So if in your city you have a monthly program for taking the public transport or a 10 travel ticket, I don't need to buy the ticket. The system detects that I have taken 3 subways and 2 buses and directly applies to my bank account the correct fee, which is the best one for me. So I have a good experience because I don't buy the ticket, but I'm sure that the system is calculating the best fee, and I'm saving money accordingly to the programs that you might have. Okay? And finally, I think I have, if you allow me 10 seconds, it's a must, cybersecurity. If we want to be digital, we must be cyber secure. We are seeing more and more attacks in all the industry, in tourist destinations, national governments, airlines, hotels, okay? We have a report that said that after banking, tourism is the second industry that is most attacked, okay? So all of you must work on that and be aware. And just for finalizing with one sentence, which I think is important, we have been talking about building a better tourism, the future of tourism, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, there's no tourism if there is no peace, okay? So let's work to build a peaceful world where we can travel around the world without problems. Thank you very much.